20 plus years later, Meet the Parents remains one of the most painfully relatable comedies ever put on screen. Not because we've all milked a cat or set a backyard on fire, hopefully, but because we all know what it feels like when wanting to impress someone's family and watch everything go catastrophically wrong. Plot is deceptively simple. Greg Focker, a sweet, anxious male nurse, travels with his girlfriend to meet her parents for the first time. Her father, Jack Burns, played by Robert De Niro, is a retired CIA interrogator who treats Greg like a hostile witness. Over a disastrous weekend, Greg desperately tries to win Jack's approval and instead unleashes a chain of reaction of misunderstandings, lies, and total humiliation. It's a comedy of errors, emphasis on the errors. The film works for two reasons: Ben Stiller's panic and Robert De Niro's silence. Ben Stiller as Greg Focker. Stiller is the king of slow motion embarrassment. His strength is not just physical comedy, it's the way he commits to Greg's anxious energy. Every wince, every panic smile, every attempt to be polite backfires, makes him the perfect comedic underdog. Robert De Niro as Jack Burns. De Niro plays Jack like he's interrogating Greg for state secrets. Half the jokes come from what he says, doesn't say, but slight eyebrow raises, the icy stares, the "I'm not mad, I'm just deeply suspicious" vibe. It's subtle, controlled, and hilarious. The supporting cast. Blythe Danner brings warmth. Terry Polo grounds the chaos. Owen Wilson nearly steals the movie as the ex-boyfriend every parent loves a little too much. Director Jay Roach uses a grounded, almost invisible style. No flashy cuts, no stylized shorts, just clean filmmaking that lets performances breathe. The tone hits right at the intersection of a sitcom humor, cringe comedy, but unlike modern cringe comedies, it leans on shock value. This film keeps the humor rooted in the characters' dynamics. The reason the awkwardness works because it feels plausible. You're not laughing at cartoon characters, you're laughing because it could easily happen to you. Approval anxiety. At its core, this film is about wanting to be accepted by your partner's family, by society, and people who intimidate you. Jack's old school hyper paranoid masculinity clashes with Greg's gentle modern manhood. The tension is both funny and revealing. Greg lies because he's scared. Jack distrusts him because he's controlling. The comedy emerges of those flaws collide. The themes are universal, which is why the movie hasn't aged a day. Some jokes lean on heavily on humiliation, so sensitive cringe. This movie is a workout. The last act is fast and occasionally stretches to believability, and yet the cat subplot is ridiculous, but that's kind of the point. Still, even its flaws, the emotional core is surprisingly sincere. Meet the Parents exploded when it released. It became a cultural touchstone. Awkward relationships dynamics launched into two sequels, helped redefine mainstream comedy in the 2000s. It proved that comedy doesn't need to launch shock humor, it just needs to great characters, real stakes, and a borderline hostile father-in-law. Meet the Parents is a masterclass of controlled comedic chaos. It's a cringe, though you can't look away. The performances, you easily remember. Writing is sharp enough to cut through 2 decades of trend changes. If you've ever felt judged, intimidated, and socially doomed at a family gathering, this is your movie. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like and subscribe button below for more film reviews, and let me know in the comments what you think of